It's rarely shocking, but always funny these days when these rich, privileged celebrities try to appear as relatable to the common folk. Take, for example, in March of 2020, like a week after the government shutdown, when Gal Gadot and her celebrity friends were singing Imagine by John Lennon, a song that has lyrics like, "Imagine no possessions." Meanwhile, they're in their million-dollar mansions protected, and the common folk are losing their jobs left and right and also losing their possessions. Yet she's trying to tell us that we're all in this together. Well, she was rightfully dragged for that, and you're in for a real treat because speaking of things that happened during 2020, here we have Charli D'Amelio, a TikToker who was 15 years old at the time. She got famous for doing TikTok dances. And since then, she's amassed over 150 million followers on TikTok. She's done a massive amount of brand deals. And her family even have a reality series on Disney Plus called The D'Amelio Show. She's only 19 at the moment, so suffice it to say, she's doing pretty well for herself. Well, recently, she had an ad campaign, and it came across to the public as being tone deaf. And man, were the comments funny. But before we dive into it, make sure that you like this video, comment on this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not already, hit that notification bell, and share this video. Anyways, Charli D'Amelio and her family recently launched their own brand of popcorn called Be Happy to be sold exclusively in Walmart. And as part of the campaign, she and her sister were pretending to be Walmart employees, pretending to stock shelves and work as a cashier. I don't know. Truthfully, it was pretty corny. But anyways, let's watch the clip. So relatable, right? When a girl who got famous for doing TikTok dances dresses up as a happy-go-lucky minimum wage employee. Okay, so first of all, no hate towards Charli for getting famous the way that she did. Whether it was her or her marketing team, they played on what the people wanted, so good on them. But the reason this is cringy and rubs people the wrong way is because it seems to undermine the life experience of somebody who truly has to work for a measly $10 to $15 an hour. Somebody commented and said, "I wish I could cosplay being broke instead of just being broke." And who's to say that many of these people don't go to work and genuinely love what they do? But also, many of these people are only taking these sort of jobs because they don't have any other options and need to simply put food on the table. Or, for example, they are college students who need to pay their tuition. So back to the commenter's original point, which is if these people had other options, this probably wouldn't be their first option. And it would be one thing if Charli didn't grow up particularly privileged and can show that she could at least relate to somebody who works at Walmart or the likes. But I did do some research into her background, and here's what I found. She's the daughter of Heidi D'Amelio, a former model, and also she went to King School in Stamford, Connecticut, which is a private K-12 school, so it shows that she had a decent amount of money growing up. And that's no disrespect towards somebody who was born into money. I mean, I, for example, grew up pretty comfortably. Both my parents were well-educated people who could afford me opportunities that many other people my age couldn't. And for that, I'm particularly grateful. In high school and college, I worked a few odd jobs here and there to make some extra money, but none of it was a true necessity for me, and I recognize that. But I also didn't become a multimillionaire at age 19, and so for people who couldn't even afford the opportunities that I could understand why Charli's ad comes at them as a slap in the face. Somebody commented and said, "My best friend works at Walmart. Most celebrities would be crying within a couple days if they tried to actually work there." Another person commented and said, "I work as a cashier in a huge supermarket chain in my country, and I can't describe just how much it grinds my gears when people treat me like utter crap and think I am beneath them just because I work in retail. I have a full-time job on top of being a full-time university student, and it hasn't been easy, but I've been able to make it work somehow. People like Charli D'Amelio are making a mockery out of people who do this for a living. And that's the other part. Besides the money aspect, when you work in these sort of jobs, you have to deal with all sort of personalities and people just being downright mean for no reason. And if you don't have the stomach for it, it can break your spirit. Now, I'm sure that being a public-facing personality, she faces hate as well. And she is human at the end of the day, so it can get to her too. In fact, she was just on Jay Shetty's podcast, talking about the toll it had on her mental health. Let's watch a quick clip.
Right when I hit 100 million, I think I was at the lowest mental state possible, and I looked so happy online, and it got to the point where I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I physically cannot do this. Like, it got really dark to where I was like, I don't even want to be here anymore.
Okay, now I don't want to take any of that away from her. It wouldn't be fair for us to say that because she's making loads of money, she couldn't possibly face those challenges. Those two are not mutually exclusive. But because the internet is the internet, and this podcast happened within days of that Walmart campaign, people decided to trivialize what she was saying. Somebody commented and said, I physically couldn't do the renegade anymore, which if you're unhip to the times, let me inform you. The renegade is a TikTok dance trend, and Charli was known for doing this a lot. So while these comments are funny, let me just reiterate that we need to be empathetic to everybody's mental health, regardless of who they are. At the same time, from what I've heard and the few clips I've seen, Charli and her sister Dixie D'Amelio have been known to be spoiled brats. They would whine about petty stuff and be obnoxious. Like, as an example, they were rude to their personal chef. And Charli was crying that she only had 95 million followers. And when people started unfollowing her and she lost 1 million out of her near 100 million, she was crying.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
So when you present yourself that way, and all you've known is money and privilege, and then you decide to run a tone-deaf campaign pretending to work at a grocery store for clicks and views, that may just backfire a bit. Now, I don't know who told these people that they need to pretend to be relatable to the public, because 9 times out of 10, people will see directly through it. Just like with Gal Gadot, just like with Charli. I think it's important for these people to act with more genuinity and self-awareness, to recognize that you'll never be like the common folk, and that's totally fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with growing up well off. While what you have is important, at the end of the day, what matters most is what you're able to do with the resources you were given. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if you're new to this channel, watch some of these videos. Also, feel free to follow me on social media. Until next time.